You might think that Lighthouse Keepers Pantry is just a sweet little coffee shop in Yarmouth Port Centre, but it's got a lot more cooking than that.
That's right. Welcome back to What's Good Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Lapsley-Martin.
And I'm Katie Clancy.
This episode, we had the pleasure of sitting down with Kelly O'Connell, co-owner of the Lighthouse Keepers Pantry in Yarmouth Port. We ate, we drank, and we learned this place is way more than a coffee shop.
I'm Kelly O'Connell, co-founder of Lighthouse Keepers Pantry, and we're here at our cafe in Yarmouth Port. Our business started off as a little jam stand right along Route 6A, where making jam became a hobby of mine during the COVID pandemic, where I was working from home. And I started making jam for my father because he eats a lot of toast. And as I started having more fun making the jam, more and more flavors just started piling up on our countertops, and decided I needed to do something with it, so we started selling it as a roadside stand on Route 6A. I decided I really didn't want to go back to New York City and needed to find a way to stay here and move my career to the Cape. So I reached out to my business partner, Greg Belzekian, who had an import business, and during the time, imports from China were really not a lucrative place to be with all the issues with importing and the pandemic. So he was interested in starting a food brand, which I had experience doing with my corporate career. With my budding jam stand, it sort of became a starting off point where we took that and expanded it into a full assortment of condiments, hot sauces, pickles, mustards, things like that. That became the catalyst for our cafe, where we use all of our products on the menu as a built-in sampling experience for our food. So around the same time when Greg and I were going into production for our new gourmet food business, the bakery that we are in today went on the market, and it was a place that we both loved as both being people from Yarmouth Port. It was in the center of our hometowns, and we saw opportunities to take the foods that we were creating and utilizing them on our menu, and also finding a place to serve coffee and things where there wasn't really anything to get a quick bite in an area within Yarmouth Port. So we both set off on a path to figure out how do we get into the restaurant business with zero experience being in the restaurant business.
Well, Kelly grew up on Cape Cod. She became an adult in New York City and has brought that city work ethic back with her.
Honestly, are you surprised by it?
Honestly, I don't have time to think about that. I've never even thought about it. It's just sort of like every day when people show up, we're like, holy shit, like it's just so busy. But I mean, I think our social media presence is part of why we're so busy. But I really, it has truly happened so quickly. We literally moved in here 2 years ago to this week. No exaggeration. We closed on the property in mid-July of 2021, and we opened 6 weeks after we moved in. So it's been incredibly fast, and part of that I think is because there isn't anywhere else to come for a quick bite or coffee in town. We are open year-round. Our hours are consistent, and we try to just have good customer service and really good food. The atmosphere is welcoming. Our staff is kind. We try to have fun music, and we try to make it a place where people want to spend time and hang out. And it's very quickly becoming a destination for both year-round Cape Codders as well as those visiting throughout the summertime.
It quickly became a village landmark, partly because of lattes and gourmet Pop-Tarts, but at the same time, Kelly's jams, sauces, and pickles were getting shipped all around the country.
We not only operate our cafe 7 days a week, from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., but we also dove into beekeeping. We have 18 hives around the Cape. We also dove into keeping chickens. So they're on the property, and we use their eggs in our baking, and we also sell the eggs to customers. We have launched a beer product with Devil's Purse and Dennis, where they've taken inspiration from our hot sauces and pickles to create a beer that sold out very quickly. We're working on new products all the time. So Greg and I are huge fans of seafood, and a huge part of the brand and being on the coast. We are both oyster lovers, so we're coming out with a mini net sauce for oysters. We are coming out with a really great steak sauce that's sort of inspired by global flavors that you would consider, sailors coming around the world tasting different types of cuisine. We have a burger blend coming out. We are also launching a barbecue sauce soon. So there's always something happening in the background. As the summer heats up, we really have dove into the ice cream business because there is no real ice cream shop to go to in town. Growing up in Yarmouth Port, we would go to Howlett's all the time, and there just isn't that same experience these days. So both, Greg and I are both Yarmouth Port natives, So being able to recreate some of those childhood memories on our own for the community that lives here today is really important to us. So we have our ice cream socials Saturday nights where you can come and get our homemade ice cream sandwiches or popsicles. And we just try to do things that are fun for the community to keep people interested in continuing to come here. So since we've launched our business 2 years ago, we really have two different arms to that business. We have our cafe and gourmet food shop here in Yarmouth Port, but we also have a growing wholesale business. We have over 30 SKUs in our assortment, and we sell to stores nationally. So we're in over 300 stores from literally Cape Cod to Hawaii. The name Lighthouse Keepers really came about because both Greg and I are from this area, and we grew up taking our Boston Whalers to the Sandy Neck Beach, which is both really our favorite places. And because we started off as a jam business, I came up with the idea thinking about how the lighthouse keeper on Sandy Neck would have spent his long, desolate winters seasoning his foods, and how he would have maybe created his own hobby collecting the wild blueberries or beach plums or native cranberries that grow on the beach to make jam and season his food, or how he would season his seafood. So that's really how the name started, and since then we've grown a lot above our jam business, but that's really where the name became from.
So how about that ice cream sandwich?
It was so good, and it was like so huge.
Oh my gosh. So when we were there were 4 different flavors to
Right.
choose from.
Yep.
But we got a little inside scoop from Kelly that there are 3 new flavors coming. Yeah.
We don't know when,
No.
so you have to stay tuned. Join us at an ice cream social on a Saturday in the village.
And we'll both find out.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of What's Good Cape Cod. We'll see you next time.